For one thing, it's not dignified to share a room with a person that doesn't wear pants after dinner. La 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 la. Grandpa's almost just like that. When he moved out of leisure towers, his girlfriend Darlene broke up with him. He's been moping around the house with his big house, which means I really can't have friends either. I figured the sooner Grandpa's bad in the game, the sooner it is. So if you turn Grandpa to do online dating to break out of his funk, I think I've created a monster. Down. That Grandpa's on the computer 24 hours a day, and he's got at least 50 relationships going simultaneously. Don't even ask me how to keep track of who's he. Belinda has sent you a link. Bethany would like to meet me. Martha likes her profile picture. Stephanie has sent you a poke. Sylvie likes your knock-knock joke. Majority thinks you're nice. Then they're trying to turn around to Rod. He told Mom he got a promotion at work. So of course, right, he got to pile into the car to go so large to pull. I'm not sure if I can call Roderick's new position a promotion. The guy dressing up as old times Tobias, the restaurant's mascot. Apparently the guy who got there got fired for being seen without his head. And when it comes to mascots, that's a huge no-no. Old-timey Tobias is supposed to walk around the restaurant and go from table to table, making little kids feel happy. But as far as I can tell, he has the opposite effect. In fact, kids seem to really hate old-timey Tobias. When we got there, Roderick was getting it from every side. Splat! Bop! Roderick told Mom that his manager warned him that if he would ever talk with his Tobias head on, he'd be fired on the spot. Luckily, one of the eyes in the costumes had coming out, which is the only way Roderick was able to stay hydrated. So, I'm starting to wonder if the guy who had the job dressing up as old-timey Tobias got fired on purpose. If I had a bet on how long Roderick lasts, I'd give him 2 weeks tops. Oh, the fun at school asked me about this big trip to Hard Travel Farms coming up next month. When you get to my grade, the whole class goes on a week-long trip to this place where you sleep in a log and learn about nature and hard work. I'm sure it's a blast if you're into that sort of thing, but I've already decided that I'm going to be the one who stays back while everybody heads off on the trip. And while the rest of my classmates are slaying it out in the woods, I'll be in the school library enjoying one of the modern comforts of the world. Mom been trying to get me to change my mind because she thinks I'll regret not going. Really doubt that's going to happen. Though, because I've heard 40 stories from kids who went away to Hard Scrabble Park, and I can remember where Roderick said home when he was there. Help me get out of here! Help me get out of here! Help me get out of here! In fact, Roderick seemed kind of traumatized by the whole experience. When he got back from the trip, he crawled into the bed and stayed there for an entire weekend. Shudder, shudder. Today was the red line for pictures who went blue. And now, launch. Everybody was scrambling in to get a good cabin. And I was glad I already decided I would because I really didn't want to deal with all that drama. In fact, I felt a little bit bad for Raleigh because he was counting on bunking with me. And when I told me he wasn't going on the trip, he went around seeing if he had anyone had an opening in their cast. By the end of lunch period, things weren't looking too good. I'm not really worried about Roger Rally though, because I've got my own problems to deal with. Monday, Mom and Dad got a letter from the school saying that they had to come in for a special parent-teacher conference. I've been worried all sick all week because they thought I must have forgotten to cross his name off the homework assignments and I was in trouble. But that wasn't at all. The reason the school asked Mom and Dad to come was homework grades are doing so much, they're putting in harder classes. Well, I'm sure Fru will appreciate having more challenging homework, but I can't be there to help me during tests. So unless I can find a way, figure out a way to school and make the school, I'm never gonna pass. When Dad came home from the parent-teacher conference, Mom said we need to celebrate good news. And of course that meant going to the old-timey Tobias ice cream parlor. I was getting a little bit sick of saying every night at Roger. And I think Grandpa was feeling the same way. He told us that ice cream makes his memory work, and he was going to stay home this time around. I tried using the same excuse. While Mom was dead set on us though. When we got to the restaurant though, Roger was nowhere to be found. The manager told Roger, Mom, that Roger never showed up for work. Blah blah blah. Sent Mom into a panic, and we got back in the barn to look for her. We drove all over the place, and we finally found Roderick walking along the side of the highway. When we pulled over, Roderick got in the van and explained what happened. He said that there was going to be a traffic jam on the highway, and he was going to be late for work. So he got in the carpool lane, where it could go a lot faster. But the rule for the carpool lane is that you have to have at least two people in your vehicle. So Roderick made it look like all the time Toys was sitting next to him in the public picture seat. Unfortunately, some eagle-eyed cop pulled him over. The cop wasn't amused and gave Roderick a cheap tip of $11. Then he found all sorts of things wrong with the van, like a broken taillight and a bad expensive sticker. After that, the cop had towed Roderick's van and left him stranded on a fixed road. Roderick was a huge target for all the kids who had broken the traffic jam. Splash! Blah.